Hi everyone, this is Samantha from the Winona Public Library, and today we are doing crafting things and we are making fairy garden picnic tables. They look just like this. I'll turn that to the side so you can see. They're perfect for bigger pots, directly in your garden, and different places like that. They're also fun if you have kids or grandkids and they need something for their Barbies or their stuffed animals. So, if you have a craft kit from the library, in that craft kit, you will find two small um, craft sticks and 14 of the jumbo craft sticks. If you do not have a kit, these are things that you will need. You will also need a hot glue gun. I prefer to use the low temp hot glue gun because it's not as hot as if you were using a high temp one. It's a little safer for your fingers if you burn them or have to go and fix something. So we're going to get started. First, you're going to need 4 of the jumbo craft sticks. And I'm going to move my screen down so you can see what my hands are going to do here. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to lay them flat on a surface, and we're going to lay the 4 side by side and try to get them as even as possible. It's okay if there's some spacing between them. And then you're going to take your small craft stick, this guy, and you're going to put them between your thumb and your forefinger, and you're just going to set them on the table. And you're going to want them to stay as straight as you can, or as horizontal as you can. You don't want it to tip like this. You want it to stay straight up. And the reason being because that could mess with how your legs stand. So we're going to take our glue gun. We're going to angle it where the small craft stick meets the 4 jumbo ones. And I should mention, it is okay if you have a little bit of a gap, because right here I have a little bit of a gap. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our glue gun and just glue. And for extra measure, I like to do more than one line. I'll do just a couple, just so that we have a good ample amount and that I know that the craft sticks are going to stick. So there they go. See, it's nice and straight up. Then we're going to take our other small craft stick and we are going to take it now in our other hand, again between the thumb and forefinger, and then we're going to lay it flat against the top. This will be the top of our picnic table. And again, you want to make sure it's straight. You don't want to angle it or anything like that. So just straight up like this. And then take your glue gun. And again, where they meet is where you want to put your glue gun. And then for added security, just go over it twice. Just like so. Okay, see, he's kind of getting a little bendy, and so isn't he. And again, we don't want to get it too bendy. There is room to wiggle and adjust it if you need to. And if you feel like 2 strokes of hot glue wasn't enough and you feel like you really just need to go to town, like here I might need to go to town just a little bit more, feel free to do so. You're going to get pretty heavy with these glue sticks. And if it angles too much, like this one's a little angly, you might want to just put some glue on the other side, and then that's going to level it out. There, now I have 2 nice and straight bindings with my little guys. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take 2 of the jumbo ones, and you're going to make an X. And your X is going to want to be big enough so that it'll fit on the outside of your 2 small ones. And you'll want to make sure that they're fairly, when they sit on the ground, that they sit evenly. So I would say like this is pretty good because I can see that they sit pretty good. But I also want to make sure that they're going to fit on my picnic table. So I'm just going to bring them in a little bit. And then again, we need to test and make sure that they'll be level on the ground. This looks good to me. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue gun. I'm going to hold these, take my glue gun in my other hand, and I need to put hot glue right at the center. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to squeeze them together so they stay. Perfect. Okay, next we're going to glue our legs to the top or the base of our table against the smaller craft stick. So I'm going to hold it like this so I have an idea, and then I'm going to turn it so you guys can actually see it a little bit better too, so you can see where I'm going to glue. So here it is. Okay, they're a little big, but what I want to do is I want to make sure that I have hot glue at the very end of my little craft sticks. So at the very, very end. And then with hot glue, you sometimes have to move quickly. So I'm just going to glue them real quick. Press and hold. All right, there are my legs for my one side. So we're going to repeat the process with the other side. Whew, I got hot glue everywhere. So 2 more. We're going to make that X, but remember we can't make it too wide. And we have to make sure that it's level with our surface. So I'm just going to measure. I like to measure using my smaller craft stick to see where he's going to be. This will be my top, flat on the surface, flat on the surface. All right. And then again, what we are going to do is I'll turn it so you guys can see. Ooh, I'm going to have to fix that. But I'll turn this so you guys can see better what's going on. Gotta just bring in my legs a little bit. That should work. Perfect. You know what, guys? I forgot to glue the middle. So before you glue to here, you want to glue your center of your sticks. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Make a little gap. Put in my glue. Press and hold. I'm actually going to bring them in just a little bit so that they work. Yep, perfect. Okay, so then we're going to put hot glue on the ends of our small craft stick. Here and here. Alright. And then we will glue our sticks onto our legs onto our base. And then I'm just going to flip it over and show you what that's going to look like. That needs to dry yet, that's why it's doing that. I might even add some extra glue. I think that's our issue right here. So we need just a smidge bit more glue. And like I said, if you feel like you need to get heavy with the glue, get heavy with the glue. Alright, so there's my table. Now it's okay if one of your legs is a little off the table. We're going to see that a little bit. This one's a little off the table, but not too bad. It still balances it. So next thing we are going to do is we are going to start on our bench. We're going to need 2 more. I'm just getting hot glue everywhere. And what you're going to do, lay your table to the side, and we're going to start on this top one. You're going to take the center of this one. I'm sorry, you can't really see that. And you're going to put it right here. And it's going to be a little tippy at first, but that's okay. It'll all come together when we're done. So the center of this popsicle stick is going to meet the center of these 2 legs. So right here. Take my glue gun, Put a little dab in the middle. Press and hold. Alright. So it'll look just like that. Just like that. We're going to do the same to the other side. I'll lay this flat now with these legs up in the air. I'm going to take my next jumbo craft stick. I'm just going to hot glue everywhere. And again, we want this center, so right here, to be at the center of the X. So I'm going to take my glue gun, put some glue in the center, my X, and then place the center of this jumbo stick, press and hold, and then write it up, and there you go. So now we're starting our bench. So let's get started with one side or one bench. Again, 2 jumbo craft sticks. And what you're going to do now is you're just going to lay one here and one here. Oops. Okay, so this is what your seat is going to look like. We have to hot glue them on first, so I suggest doing one at a time. So I'm going to take this one away, and what I like to do is just put some glue right here, and then some glue right here, and you're working on the edge of your picnic table, so this can get a little tricky sometimes. Then we're just going to lay it flat, press and hold. Alright, and then we're going to put our next one on. So we're going to put glue, some hot glue next to the first half of our bench. And we're going to do it on the other side. And then we'll press and hold. Alright, and then there we go. We have our first bench. Now again, it's okay if it gets a little gappy. It's, you know, the nature of the beast. That's how picnic tables are in real life anyway. So then let's work on the other half of the bench, or the other side rather. I'm sorry, I'm just going to fix this just a little bit. Alright. So again, we want it to look like just like this. There we go, just like that. So I'm going to take them away. We're going to focus on getting our first part of our bench in. We're going to glue on the edge, and again, this part is always the tricky part. Alright, and then we're going to take our stick, put it on the hot glue, and press and hold. Alright, we're going to do that with our next one, and I realize it looks a little crooked in the video, and I think that's because this guy, see, kind of got a little topsy-turvy on me, and did a little totter type like effect. Not a big deal though. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put on the other half of my bench. Glue in the edges. Press and hold. Here's my bench. Now, if that does bother you and you notice a bit of a teeter-totter effect in your bench, you can always, you got to be very careful. Okay. You can, I just got to fix that because my bench wants to fall apart. Alright, So if you do notice that it's unlevel or one side is a little teeter-totter, you can always pull it apart. Sometimes it works pretty easy. In this case it does for me. And you can kind of just readjust. So I'm going to take this. I was able to pull it. And then I'll put some glue. And then we're going to realign this so that my bench is just a smidge bit more level. Alright, and alright, there we go. Now for some reason it doesn't want to look level in the video, but it is, trust me. Just like that. There's your table. So that's how you make a fairy garden table. Pretty easy. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Craftin' Things.